and welcome to the training course for Surface Hub. My name is Joe, and I'll be your host for this session, which focuses on using Surface Hub as a video conference solution in your Microsoft Teams meetings. If your organization is using Microsoft Teams for meetings, this session is for you. The previous session focused on Skype for Business meetings using Surface Hub, so if your organization has deployed Skype for Business for meetings, you'll want to watch that video instead. Some organizations are still using both Skype for Business and Teams, but not to worry, Surface Hub is able to join both types of meetings without requiring a settings change by your administrator. Microsoft Teams is a communication application that runs on Windows, Android, and iOS and allows users to send chat messages, make audio and video calls, share files, and join meetings with internal and external participants. Surface Hub runs a version of Microsoft Teams that allows the device to join meetings and make calls. Your Surface Hub has been configured as a resource, similar to a user in your organization, but with an automated calendar for reservations and meetings. If the Surface Hub stays mostly in the same meeting room or space, it might share a calendar with that meeting room. Be sure to check with your support person for more details about how your Surface Hub has been configured for your organization's use. Creating a new Microsoft Teams meeting can be done directly from Microsoft Teams or from Microsoft Outlook in much the same way you would create a regular meeting. When you create a Microsoft Teams meeting, the information about the meeting and a link to join the meeting are added to the meeting invite in the message body. In Microsoft Teams, on the Meetings tab, click the Schedule a Meeting button. Fill out the meeting invite with the title, location, time, and details. If the location includes a Surface Hub, it will be added to the meeting. Otherwise, you'll need to enter the name of the Surface Hub in the Invite People list. Invite people to the meeting by entering their email address in the Invite People field. Anyone who is invited to the meeting can join the scheduled meeting both internally and externally, even if they aren't licensed for Microsoft Teams, using either the desktop app or the web-based app. Please review the notes section for the complete training scenario. Invite the Surface Hub you want to use in the meeting by adding it to the invite list.
And can I invite multiple Surface Hubs to the same meeting?
Of course. Just like adding multiple people, you can invite multiple resources to a meeting and use more than one Surface Hub in the same meeting. Once the invite has been created and you've chosen a time for the meeting, you're ready to send the invite. It might be a good idea to check the scheduling assistant to make sure the Surface Hubs you want to invite are free during your selected meeting time. As a best practice, Surface Hub calendars are configured to automatically accept incoming meeting requests as long as there's not a conflict for the requested time. This means that meetings on Surface Hub are almost always first come, first serve. Once a time slot has been reserved, any future meeting requests that conflict with those times will be declined automatically. In Microsoft Outlook, make sure that the meeting is a Microsoft Teams meeting before you send it. If you forgot to make the meeting a Teams meeting, you can edit the meeting and add the Teams join info to update the meeting invite. When you send the invitation, you should get a response from the Surface Hub account within a few minutes. As long as you remembered to make the meeting a Microsoft Teams meeting, the Surface Hub will be able to join that meeting when the time comes. If the Surface Hub resource account declines the meeting, check to make sure it hasn't been reserved for another meeting at the same time. On the date and time of your meeting, when you walk up to Surface Hub, your meeting will be displayed on the welcome screen. Future meetings for the rest of the day are also shown on the welcome screen. Meetings can be joined early or at any time during the scheduled meeting, but once the end of the meeting has passed, the meeting will disappear from the welcome screen. You can swipe right and left through the scheduled meetings for the day to see what times the Surface Hub is booked and available. Joining a meeting takes one touch. Let's join the meeting we scheduled. Touch the meeting to join. Notice the Surface Hub didn't ask you if you were the organizer or if you were even invited to the meeting.
So is that intentional?
Yes, when you touch the screen to join the meeting, it's not you joining the meeting, it's the Surface Hub. Anyone who has access to the device can join a scheduled meeting with one touch. When you join a meeting on Surface Hub, the Teams app opens, the camera, speakers, and microphone turn on, and the whiteboard is launched. It's up to the people in the meeting to determine if the right person is at the device. You can also join a meeting from the Start menu on the home screen if you've already started a session and started using some of the apps on Surface Hub. If you haven't invited Surface Hub to a meeting, you can still use the device if it's available by making a Microsoft Teams call from the device. These are called ad hoc or unscheduled meetings. On the welcome screen, tap the Call button to launch the Teams app and make a call by entering the name or email address of the person you want to call. You'll want to make sure that you are aware of the amount of time until the next scheduled meeting, which will be displayed on the welcome screen. Since the Surface Hub is technically available, someone else may invite it to a meeting while you're using it for your unscheduled meeting, which it would accept. There are times when you may be invited to a Microsoft Teams meeting by someone you work with, either internally or externally, and you would prefer to use the video conferencing and collaboration capabilities of the Surface Hub rather than your personal device. Sign into the Surface Hub from the welcome screen or the Start menu. You'll be able to see all of your upcoming meetings and join a meeting from your calendar without having to invite the Surface Hub.
So does this mean they'll know I've joined the meeting?
In this case, the Surface Hub has joined the meeting, so it's a good idea to identify yourself to the rest of the participants in the meeting. Once you've started a Microsoft Teams meeting, regardless of how you start or join the meeting on Surface Hub, the meeting controls and options are the same. The Teams panel always appears on the right side of the screen and allows up to 2 apps to run in split screen mode. At the top of the panel are buttons you can use to minimize or move the panel to the other side of the screen. The video feeds from remote participants are shown on the panel. The video feeds are displayed based on who has recently spoken in the meeting. As people speak in the meeting, their video will be shown if their camera is turned on. The Surface Hub camera turns on when you join the meeting, and the video feed will be shown in the bottom right corner of the panel. At the bottom of the Teams panel are 4 buttons: Full Screen, Add People, Settings, and Info. The Full Screen button will make the video or content layout full screen. If you're not sharing content in the meeting, you can switch to full screen video in 4K plus resolution, which is great for engaging face-to-face meetings, interviews, and conversations, even room-to-room calls between 2 or more Surface Hubs. To see the list of participants and add someone to the meeting, select the People button. You can invite more people to join the meeting by searching or entering an email address. They will get an incoming call alert for the meeting, so they won't necessarily know who is calling or why. It might be a good idea to reach out via chat to let them know you will be calling from a meeting on a Surface Hub. The Settings button allows you to change what devices are used for audio and camera by the meeting, and the Info button shows you the basic meeting info for the current meeting. On the main Teams panel are the controls for the meeting, which appear when you touch the panel. The controls allow you to turn the camera on and off and mute the microphone. To share the screen as content in the meeting, press the Share button. A yellow bar will appear at the top and bottom of the screen, which lets you know that you are presenting. To stop presenting, press the Share button again. The Options button, which is 3 dots, gives you the option to turn off the incoming video, which is helpful if the connection to Teams isn't able to maintain a high enough quality. It also allows you access to the keypad for entering numbers on a call. In a Teams meeting, a common collaboration tool is the whiteboard, and a shared whiteboard with all members of the meeting is a great way to gather ideas and feedback from the participants. The whiteboard button launches the Microsoft Whiteboard in Teams, which is a shared canvas for all participants and saved with the meeting. Finally, the red button will leave the meeting. The meeting can continue with other participants after the Surface Hub has left. Everyone in the room will be able to see the content that's displayed on the Surface Hub screen, but we need a way to share content with remote participants. When you're joined to a Microsoft Teams meeting on Surface Hub, the Share button is located in the controls in the Teams panel. In a Teams meeting, one person or device can present at a time. To become the current presenter from the Surface Hub, press the Share button. The bars along the top and bottom of the screen turn yellow, and the whole screen, except for the Teams panel, will be shared as content in the meeting. If you have two apps open on the screen, both are shown to the remote participants. When a device is connected, the Connect app opens and is presented to remote participants. Press the Share button again to stop sharing the screen in the meeting. Anyone in the meeting can share their screen. There are no roles in a Teams meeting like there are with a Skype for Business meeting. When someone else is presenting content in the meeting, the content will be shown in full screen view. Microsoft Teams meetings are one of the best ways to collaborate with remote participants both internally and externally to your organization. Video keeps participants engaged, and content can be opened, shared, and edited across devices in real time. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in Chapter 10, Basic Troubleshooting.